Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And we have now 4 days to go until the 3rd anniversary technically begins. This time we have a login screen which gives us a guaranteed 5-star ticket, which I suggest you do not use right now, and you wait for the general pool update on Thursday, Friday. It's going over 2-day spans that they're upgrading the shops. So either Thursday or Friday, when the general pool gets updated for the tickets, that's when you should use this, because then you could actually pull EX characters with it. But we have a login screen with Ritus, however you want to say your name, depending on what you're reading, watching, and then Commander Renard. So they did not come out in the same meta. They are both protectors, though. One of them is free to play. Renard came out for Commander, and Ritus was the free-to-play protector for the Prosper meta. So they do drastically different things. But they're on the screen, which means I have an obligation to use them both. So let's get started. Okay, well, since we can't really use Renard and Ritus, whoever you want to say it, together, since they're both protectors, and the cheap way out would just be making her like the sub slot. I didn't want to do that. We'll give her her own battle, but we're going to use Renard to lead, not the actual commander team, because that'd just be boring, but we're going to have him lead the Visions of Coleus team, because you can still benefit off of this if you're type advantage, and we do have the Visions of Coleus beatdown battle, so he is not buffing anybody, because he's buffing physical allies, but weakness strike up, alt resistance down is going to matter a lot for Jean, Violet. We're going to bring Exalted Champion Guy, because he can give free alt gauge to Primal Demons, of which there's 4 of them. And the faster we get alts is the faster that we have blue orbs that are guaranteed. So we're going to run Violet for her obvious reasons. And then we're going to bring Ogre's Pride Soe, because he's really, really good for magic-focused teams that are synergy-based, because he's got the attack buff for magic allies and the up to 100% synergy power, which is going to eclipse the synergy power that Guy is giving and the personal synergy power buff that Jean has. But we need Guy to actually activate synergy to begin with, because we get synergy power, we get synergy resistance down, but no one is giving synergy rate, because normally that'd be coming from Protector Lumi. So we do need him. You could also use Idol Shuna if you wanted to. She would work just fine. But, let's see how this goes. It'll go fine. So, Renard. Stacking Weakness Strike, stacking Alt Resistance down is going to be a lot more impactful than just bringing Visions of Coleus Lumi. If we were in... well... no, I think it actually would. Because while Lumi is giving us the extra 60% damage buff, and that's awesome and well and swell, at the end of the day, she's only stacking 12% attack and then giving us guaranteed synergy, which we're going to get with this team anyway. So the fact that we're double stacking buffs, I think will make Renard outshine Lumi in this specific scenario with this team build where we still have someone to give guaranteed synergy. But turn 1, we use the Soe Convert because we had 2 greens, and turn 2, they did it again. So I did make a slight team change here because I put Blanc in the back to give her the extra protection gauge on turn 2 with the Commander Hinata underneath her. And we'll watch Renard since we didn't have him. We had the skill skip on for his first usage. So we'll watch him. I mean, he's half the point of the video, so we gotta show his animation off. Ritus is a 4-star, so she doesn't have an animation, so we don't need to worry about that for the next part. But Weakness Strike, Alt Resistance down. We'll bring Soe in again after we turn the animation off now, because we don't need to watch it every single time. We'll bring him in for Blanc, since her traits are only good on turns 2, 4, 6, and 8. So there, full hand of blues, excellent. And we don't really need to worry about alt gauge here. Like, we're not bringing the rainbow orbs. It's not a big deal, because we have Guy, who's going to alt rush at least once on this team. And the game is just trolling at this point. That's 3 turns of greens in a row. One of them was guaranteed, but yeah, it's still kind of funny. Yeah, hey, I mean, it works out for us. So now we have a lot of points. We'll bring Guy in. We'll use his first alt rush, and this is going to give it to everybody since everyone's a Primal Demon. So I think we'll just leave it, and we'll stack another 10% alt resistance and then 10% weakness strike, and every single turn, Violet and Jean do more and more damage, even though Hinata's got guard. This is also Inferno 3, by the way. This isn't like EX2 or something. Like, Hinata's going to do damage to us, and because we don't have those extra stats from Lumi, does mean that we're just a little bit more squishy than I would like in this scenario where we're fighting a pretty hard boss. So she's got guaranteed crits and guaranteed pierces. Like, that's a lot of damage that she takes off every single time she hits you. So now that we've got alts, we have at least 2 guaranteed blue orbs, and we're going to probably have, well, we're not going to have quite 3 yet, because Blanc's not going to get an alt here. But that just means that we are always guaranteed at least a few blue orbs, where orb changing is not really a big deal. But thankfully, Violet and Soe together form a very good pairing for orb converting and buffing on a magic team, especially a synergy-focused team. So they work really, really well. And we're not doing a lot of damage because she has guard, but now 1 and 2, yeah. Blanc and Jean are already down to half HP. Not great. They should be a bit tankier, considering Blanc is level 120, right? But alt swap away. We don't really need to bring Guy up front anymore, because our primary nuker, who is going to be Violet in this case, because she's level 120 and Jean is not, we don't need to alt rush her anymore. Like, we could put extra synergy resistance down if I really, really felt like it, but because Guy already has an alt, it makes things a little awkward, because how am I going to swap him away if I've already used the swap skill? I mean, I guess I could bring him up front, but for Jean, I guess. But Hinata nukes the person with the highest HP, so we were not truly in danger of Violet or Jean dying. I was a little bit worried about how much damage Soe would take, considering he's also not getting any type of defense buff. He's also not space, so he's not type advantage. So he's the person who's probably going to tank the worst, but also he had the most HP, so we had to give it to him. And I kind of think Blanc would have died there, so I didn't want to bring her up front. Alright, turn 6, more stacks. We are still not going to get an ult for Blanc here, which is kind of shocking that we just have not been able to do it. But we are almost ready to nuke, and we have a literal crap ton of power on this team. More power than even the normal versions of Kolya's team would have. Because normally we would have Cleash or some other green converter at the time, and then we'd have Coleus Rimuru, who doesn't have any damage support to begin with. He just has rainbow orbs, which I guess if you want to argue it's indirectly helping our damage by giving us EX ults and all that, like, yeah, I could see that, but he's not actually got like a percentage damage buff that he's giving to Violet or Jean. So technically, the only thing that Guy is doing, because we probably would have gotten EX ults regardless by this point, it's turn 7. We didn't really need him, but he is contributing permanent synergy resistance down. He is giving everybody guaranteed synergy, but the synergy power is going to be grossly overshadowed by Soe next turn, as long as we can use 300 points before his skill, which, because of math, we are able to do that. So Soe is almost dead right there. It's a good thing it's now turn 8. So 2 more stacks of Renard means that we're going to be full power. I didn't actually look at how many stacks we had on Violet. Kind of unfortunate. But let's use the 2 buffs from Jean, and then she's going to go, because we don't need her. She's not the nuker here. Violet is, because Violet's level 120. And she has Space Lumi underneath her, which means she gets an extra 15% attack after sending 6 blues, which we've been doing the entire time. And then we'll use the Blanc buff, which is just weakness strike and alt resistance, or synergy resistance down. And then we'll bring Guy in. And between Violet's skill and his skill, that leaves us with exactly 80 points, which means that we've used 320, which means that Soe is now his full power 100% synergy. And then we'll just send Blanc, or not Blanc, but Violet, and then we'll follow up because it's fun. And we'll actually watch the Violet ult, because most of the time she's been relegated to support at this point. We don't ult with her very often. She's not normally the focus. She's almost a year old, which is crazy to think about. She's almost a year old. And she does a nice, cool 10 million damage. I'd say that's pretty good for a 1-year-old unit. I don't think Violet did 10 million in my best setting when Visions of Coleus originally came out. So, yeah. Renard. I mean, is that a lot of power coming from Soe, Jean, Blanc, Violet? Yeah. But we are also double stacking with Renard. Weakness Strike Up stacks on top of the one that we're already getting from Blanc. Alt Resistance Down is a skill that we just don't have access to on this team, right? We just don't have Alt Resistance Down. But the fact that we do have it now is very good and very, very impactful because it's a very strong buff. So, there's the first half of the video. There's using Renard. Now it's time to cut to the free-to-play unit. Okay, so for the Ritus part of the video, we're going to use her to lead a fully blue-focused team. Everyone here is a blue orb changer. We're going against Geld, who technically is weak to magic, but he gives himself a magic resistance buff for 5 turns. And he also nerfs blues for 5 turns, so it's like, is this the best team to use? Yeah, probably not. But hopefully we can showcase the ability to survive long enough to overcome that magic debuff by just having guard and a chance to super guard with Ritus. So 100% chance to guard, 25% chance to super guard. Blues get extra skill points. Sure. I mean, this is not by all means a good team to use in this specific stage, but we're going to make it at least slightly challenging, right? Okay, well, I mean, I can't really argue with that turn 1. We can just bring Rieger in. He is single target, so at least he'll do some amount of damage here. And then we'll take out Geld, I guess. So let's send these Rieger orbs, see what kind of damage we do with the... before he puts the magic buff on. Or magic resistance buff, sorry. Yeah, so there it is. The blues are nerfed still. Got quite a few oranges, but it's going to be a struggle to try and get Ritus even active if we have a blue debuff here. Let's see how much points we get off this hand just to begin with. We don't have our active, so we're not getting the extra 50% skill points, which is really unfortunate. Okay, I mean, we're going to get our active. It's just, yeah, we didn't get a lot back. 4,000 damage right there. Rieger's now doing 4,500 versus like the 6,000 he was doing last turn. And we're still taking him down at a decent clip. Alright, 1, 2. Thank you for that. Let's bring in Water Rimuru for Soka. And we can use his orb. Actually, no, we don't have enough points. I guess we're just going to use his orb change. Yeah, okay. Well, let's see how many points back we get here. We'll bring Geld in. I would have used his convert, but we did not have enough. So Ritus is a 4-star. She doesn't have any animation, so there's nothing to play there. But here we get 22 points back. Okay, yeah. Oh, guard. Excellent. Okay, well, that's a lot of orbs for Rieger right there. I guess, yeah, we're just going to overcome the blue nerf by just simply surviving. Not that we've really seen Ritus do anything here either. Would she guard, what, 1 hit, maybe? 21,000? Alright, he's under half HP. Alright, so he's critting. Yeah, that's not great. Magic resistance is almost gone. Let's just build up some points here. So, let's send these oranges. Actually, let me see, we're going to be smart about this. Let's take Rieger out, and let's send these 2 Shuna orbs. That way we have at least 4 Geld orbs next turn. Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, he has an ult coming. That's not gonna... It's not really gonna save us from anything, though. So, Geld, we'll bring Rimuru in. We'll use his self-convert, and then the Shuna green convert. Boom. Boom. And then we'll bring Rieger in for these 5 Rimuru orbs. And even if we had access to Ritus right now, she's not going to help us tank damage from Geld, because guard only affects normal attacks. It does not affect alts. So you could have guaranteed super guard. It does not matter. Geld's going to do premium damage here. 18,000. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Well, I know who's leaving. Get out of here. We don't have enough points because that 50% skill point gain did not really do anything, but we do have enough to use Geld's orb change, so that is good. And I think he's dead here, depending on how much damage this ult does. Hopefully being the keyword. 24th. Actually, he might not be dead. He'll be close. Stop guarding, please. Stop guarding, please? Okay, well, we get to see one. Okay, oh, countered the guard, super guard the counter. And no, he didn't attack. Okay, well. Time well spent, right? Alright, well, let's do that. And this should honestly kill. We don't need to use Ritus anymore. She's a free-to-play 4-star who's a defensive-oriented protector. She doesn't have a lot of use to begin with. So the fact that we even used her today is, I think, a miracle on her part. And I haven't seen this ult in a while, so we'll watch it. And that'll be the end of today's countdown anniversary video. 12,000 right there with a fire tornado. Alright, good job, Ritus. You really saved us some damage there. But there we go. The game told me to use Ritus and Renard. I used Ritus and Renard, and here we are. So that is, what, 4 days till the anniversary now? Let me know what you guys think, but that's it from me. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you later.